Okay, so I'm gonna react to a video by this is Opera Archive, which is the channel with the videos of the old This is Opera channel. Sorry for the background noise. I will pause it and read some of the slides they put with text on it to and then say if I agree or disagree. And if any of you disagree with me, you can tell me in the comment section below. Okay, so it starts out with one of the most destructive ideas in modern vocal pedagogy is that all young singers have light voices and they should only sing light roles. Composers like Puccini or Verdi should be completely avoided and they are only reserved for older singers. This is completely wrong, very harmful for young singers with bigger voices, and the reasons why true spinto and dramatic voices don't exist anymore. Let's skip through some of this. Because of this belief, young singers with bigger voices are never properly identified as such and always end up singing the wrong voice type. Spinto and dramatic tenors and sopranos are often trained as baritones and mezzos. Baritones and mezzos are trained as basses and contraltos, etc. Or even worse, they are taught to sing with a fake light voice because teachers think that this is how young singers are supposed to sound. And people who sound like Delmonico or Nilsson are singing Nemorino and Adina with a high larynx and fake small sound. Sorry for running out of air at certain points. I should work on that, but anyways, at least the person who made this video and I both agree that it's not very common for lyric tenors to be misclassified as baritones, and I don't know enough about female voices to like really give my opinion on like whether they're being trained right or not. I do think that I wouldn't say most baritones these days are undeveloped tenors. I disagree with that. I mean, it is true that like not as many dramatic voices are in the world of opera today as they used to be, unfortunately. And and I haven't really looked into whether or not dramatic voices do take a while to develop. So like I haven't really done much research on that, so I can't really say I agree nor disagree for now. Anyone with more experience than me will can disprove me, perhaps. Anyways, yeah, but I do agree that like there are some baritones on occasion whom I'm sure are probably not really true baritones at all. But I guess it's hard to say. I mean, I don't listen to like a lot of modern opera, mostly just old school. So yeah, let's see really quick what the next slide is. This destructive idea is fairly new, probably something of the past 30 to 40 years. Prior to this, young singers who had bigger slash deeper voices would sing the repertoire that was appropriate for them. A dramatic soprano would never sing Susanna, and a real mezzo would never sing Cherubino. Let's listen. Okay, so before we listen to the clips they're about to show, I just want to say that I'm not sure if a real dramatic soprano would always be uncomfortable singing Susanna. And Cherubino, I mean, I think that like a real mezzo could sing it. I mean, if anyone disagrees, you can tell me in the comments section below, and I admit my view of the Fach system is on occasion flawed. Like, I'm not perfect at it, so Yeah. Let's listen. Rosa Pastel, 21 years old. Yeah, there are some cases such as Rosa Pancel's in which I'm not so, which makes me question like whether or not dramatic voices really take a lot of time to mature. Um, it does make me wonder like if it's really the case that you know they won't be able to sing dramatic roles until they're like in their 40s, and which again, I don't know enough to like give an official opinion about it. Anyone who knows more about this than me, I'm happy to hear your advice. I mean, not your advice, your and yeah, um, anyways, let's just forget about that. Sorry about that. Rosa Pancel's good and all, but I mean, I'm not really in the mood for like listening to like just one singer for like several minutes right now. Okay, Lina Bruna Rasa, 21 years old. Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that much that she's that resonant at 21 years old. It is nothing that surprising. I mean, she has a big voice, but um, it's not like she's a dramatic. And and I think either it's speaking to our lyric, if I had to guess. But let's move on. Fedora Barbieri, 23 years old. Yeah, that is a heavier voice than what we usually think of when we think of 23-year-old voices. Yeah. 23, I mean, it is older than 19, which is how old I am. So it's not like emerging adulthood, but you know. Jerome Hines, 24 years old. I also heard him at 17 years old, and I was surprised at like how good of an opera singer he was because a lot of people out there don't start their careers, whether it's lyric roles or dramatic roles, until late 20s, early 30s ish, I think. But anyways, Jerome Hines, 24 years old. No, it's not really a surprise that he's 24 by now, but like when I first heard him when on a recording when he was 17, that was when I was surprised. It's like, um, Jerem Hines, I mean, most of the basses, or at least low ones, not that Jerem Hines is a low bass in my opinion, but most of the low basses I've heard interviews of claim to have known they were basses since like 16. So, and I've heard people who speak even deeper than Jerem Hines to some extent, and they're younger than I am. So, yeah. 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 Let's see here. Rosa Reza. It says on Wikipedia she's a dramatic soprano, but I guess it could be because I'm not ear trained well enough, but I have trouble recognizing that voice as dramatic. Anyways, Dressler Siepi. That's my favorite operatic bass. In fact, out of any genre, he's my favorite bass. And, traditional knowledge does say that, bass voices mature until their 50s, but, Siepi here, like at 25 years old, he already sounds quite similar. Maybe just a little bit lighter than during his later years in his career, but not by much. Anyways. Maria Kell is 26 years old. Anyways, this next person is Dusolina Giannini, 26 years old. But that's not really a very big voice. I mean, it's not small, and she has good talent, but are you really sure that is a dramatic or spinto soprano? Let me look it up real quick. She's classified as a dramatic soprano. I guess that probably means that I need more ear training with female voices. Oralia Dominguez, 26 years old. I mean, 26 is not that young to be a dramatic. I mean, the reason why it's not really a surprise to me is because Lawrence Melchior, when he was young, I mean, when he wasn't even that old, I mean, he wasn't as young as I am, but I think he was in like his mid-20s when he switched to the dramatic tenor roles. So, yeah. Let's continue. Okay, so now, on the next slide, they said, it's evident from all these recordings that it's completely wrong to think that young singers can't have big voices and that they're all supposed to sound light. Unfortunately, none of these great singers would sound like this if they were trained nowadays. Teachers would either lighten them or mistake them for a lower voice type. When this wrong idea became popular around the 70s and 80s, true spinto and dramatic voices became extremely rare because they were all in the wrong repertoire. Lyric singers who were hired for these roles because people thought that voices mature into dramatic as the singer becomes older. Singers like Frenny Scotto and Ricciarelli sang spinto and dramatic roles when they got older because they were not appropriate for them, because of their lyric instruments. Just a sec. In the meantime, as teaching became worse and singers were less and less developed, lyric voices ended up being kicked out of their own repertoire as well, as they were now considered too young for it. Lyric roles such as Butterfly or Manon Lesca started to be considered spinto. These days, a lot of teachers think that a singer in their 20s shouldn't be singing roles like Mimi and Michaela. Eventually, universities started a mass production of fake light voices. Now the vast majority of young singers are either fake ligero and coloratura, sopranos and tenors, and they all sing... Sorry. Let me start over real quick. Eventually, universities started a mass production of fake light voices. Now the vast majority of young singers are either fake ligero tenors and coloratura sopranos, and they all sing the same light roles, or they are trained as light mezzos, baritones, etc. Some of these singers are true light voices, but many are bigger voices without even knowing it, and they will never sing their true repertoire. Let's use sopranos as an example. The following singers are in the wrong voice type, and they are potential spinto/dramatic sopranos who will never sing this repertoire. I think that's Alina Garancha or something like that, right? I don't agree that she's a soprano. I doubt that. Again, if anyone wants to disagree with me, you can say it in the comment section. Yeah, the more I listen to that, the more I'm skeptical of this video's description of her voice. I just don't agree based on like what I'm hearing here and also the other recordings that I've listened to of Elena Grancha. Joyce DiDanto? I think kind of like Cecilia Bartoli from Italy. I think Joyce DiDanto, or Di Donato, is debatable. Kind of a gray area. Diana Domerau from Germany. singing La Traviata, so they literally think that she's a dramatic slash spinto soprano who lightens her voice too much and is singing repertoire that's too light for her voice. And I do not agree. I could not disagree more. Not at all. It's like nothing about her voice is dramatic. And I don't know, nothing personal against the people who made this video, but I don't quite get where they're coming from with this. Singers who are mistaken for a lower voice type often have a career singing with an undeveloped voice that will never reach its full potential, but those who are taught to lighten are often completely ruined. Mario Delmonico talked in a 1981 interview about his teachers that tried to lighten his voice. Okay. Sorry about that. I studied singing for 10 years. I was studying violin at Pesaro when it was discovered I had a big voice. At the age of 13, it was already established I was a tenor. My father first sent me to study voice at age 14 with Maestro Raffaelli, who incredibly made me sing almost at once in a small, lovely new theater at Mondolfo Moroda. I was very thin then, and the next teacher almost ruined me. Basing her opinion on my physique, Sorry, let me start that sentence over. Basing her opinion on my physique, she sincerely believed that I was a light tenor and made me study Don Pascal and Il Matrimonio Segreto. My voice got smaller and smaller, and I was very worried. And, okay. Lamberto Gardelli was a fellow student at the conservatory and advised me to change teachers. I went to Maestro Melocchi at the conservatory, and he did wonders reconstructing the voice to its original form. With him, I studied several years until 1936. I won a scholarship for advanced students at the Rome Opera. In Rome, they were convinced I was a lyric tenor, and the same thing happened. My voice got small and constricted. It took a lot of persuade Maestro Melocchi to take me on again, as he had disapproved very strongly of the Roman experiment. So if you are wondering why these voices don't exist anymore, it's because they are in the completely wrong repertoire. Or they get ruined and give up singing because they think they aren't good enough. Yeah, that kind of sums it all up. I think that a lot of the things they say in this video are partly true, but they're exaggerated. For example, do I believe that most baritones these days are being trained as basses? No. And do I believe that most baritones these days are really undeveloped tenors? No. I do think that a lot of this stuff Some of them I agree with, but you know, just the way it is. But anyways, I hope you all have a good day. See you. I'm out.